Welcome one and all. Hey, welcome. How lovely to meet you. How nice to meet you all. Hello, hello, hello. You go into the market? You go into Salisbury market, all of yous? Or perhaps you want me to deliver something for you, or fetch something for you. That's my job. I'm a carrier. I take things from places across to other places. Aye, that's true. Off I go with my cart and my two donkeys, Jack and Jane. 10 legs between us we've got, so we do the legwork. Hey, you got no provisions? Your cupboards, are they looking a bit bare? Perhaps you want me to collect some groceries for you. Don't you fret. It'll be me, I'll collect all your shopping for you. I say, perhaps you would like a ribbon in your hair. Now, what colour? Aye, indeed. Or perhaps some material, some beautiful fabric for a new dress. I know just the place. In Penny Farthing Street in Salisbury, the three Miss Hoopers. They got everything you need. Beautiful material, braid, pins and needles, and ribbons, of course. Aye, indeed. Or perhaps you fancy a little feather for your cap, eh? Here you are, but only you wear it on your Sunday best. You want one? There you are. Aye, sure enough. All year round I go. Nothing stops me getting through. Everybody knows me. There goes Maria, they say. Good old Maria Ridout. Always out and about. She's as reliable as the sunrise. Aye, indeed. Now, you're going to have to trust me, aren't you? With your money. Duh. I'll get everything you need and I'll bring you back the change, and you don't have to pay me until I come back. That's fair, isn't it? Eh? That's fair enough, isn't it? Sure enough. Or perhaps you might need the doctors. Well, or I could go and fetch the doctor for you. I'll wrap you up in a blanket and put you on the back of the cart. You'll be safe and sound, I promise. Sure enough. Doctor's fee, I hear you cry. Doctor's fee? Now, don't you worry. If you can't afford the doctors, you let me know what herbs you need. We know, don't we, eh? We know which herbs are best. Fennel for a fever. Or if you've got a sore throat, a little peppermint and lemon and ginger. I'll bring it back to you on my cart, don't you worry. All year round she goes. Everybody knows her. Nothing stops her getting through. There goes Maria, I hear you shout. There goes Maria Ridout. Always out and about. She's as reliable as the sunrise. You come in then. Come on, Jack and Jane. Let's make our way. Come on. Come on.
Quick, scoop that up.
There it is. Here, look at yous lot. I love this time of year, don't you? I love the change. That's what I love. This time of year, oh, it brings joy. Spring is in the air, isn't it? You can feel the green shoots bursting through the earth and the flowers blooming and the sound of the birds making their nests. Oh, is that a thrush feeding her baby? Ah, sure enough. Easter time. Aye. What do you think of when you think of Easter? Eh? Egg. Oh, egg. Do you think of egg when you think of Easter and bunnies? Eh? What do you think of? Chocolate. Oh, aye, chocolate. Easter and hot crust buns. Come on. Hot crust buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot crust buns. Of course, there's an older rhyme than that one. Do you know that one? I don't know. Well, how did it start? It's anyone know it? When Good Friday, what? When Good Friday comes, the old woodman runs. I can't even say it. Look, my lips have gone all funny and cold, haven't they? When Good Friday comes, the old woman runs with 1 or 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Try that one with me. When Good Friday comes, the old woman runs with 1 or 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Once more. When Good Friday comes, the old woman runs with 1 or 2 a penny, hot cross buns. My mother would always make hot cross buns on Good Friday. Does yours? Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that some do still. And we would rush into the kitchen, the smell of those buns coming out of the oven. Delicious. And then we'd spread butter on them, my brother and I, and we'd eat them. What a treat. Then my mother would take one of those buns and she'd hang it up in the rafters for good luck. For there's a saying, if you eat a cake on Good Friday, you'll never want for money or victuals. Victuals, that's food. I know that to be true, and now you know that, don't you? Aye, indeed. Church? Well, of course, we always went to church as children, not only on Easter Sunday, but every Sunday. Witham Friary, that's where I went to church. I have to tell you, to be perfectly honest, it was a bit dull. And as a little one, the vicar going on with all those long words, I didn't understand them. So I'd look at the stained glass windows. I didn't read or write, see? Well, only the wealthy went to school, didn't they? And then only the boys. I didn't learn to read and write until I was much older. Yeah. Although, here's the thing, in Salisbury, Mrs. Saunders has started a school for girls, and she is making sure that there is some kind of a petition to make sure that girls can take their public examinations. Hey, things change, don't they, eh? Oh, indeed, they do change, sure enough. Church, learning to read. See, I didn't learn to read and write until my husband taught me. Robert, he would write me little notes and letters when we were courting. You haven't an idea what courting is, have you? I got your face there and I'm looking at you and you're thinking, what's courting? What's courting, everyone? It's what? It's romancing. Do you like that word better? Yeah, we like a bit of romancing. Here, I tell you what, I've kept all of his letters. Shall I read one to you? See, Robert, he's a carrier too. That's how come I met him. He carried to Witham Friary. Little did I know then that I would too become a carrier. Dearest Maria, I write this in a hurry as I know I shall be seeing you later this week. My dearest girl, I have come to the realization that I find myself in the depths of loneliness when we are apart. I therefore should like to amend this situation so that we are always near each other. this can only come to pass if you agree to be with me for the rest of our lives. Dear, dear Maria, I should be overjoyed if you would do me the great honour of pledging that we should go forward together, pulling our cart under one yoke. And when we arrive at our new home, this carrier would be deeply honoured if he could be allowed to carry you over the threshold. I will write no more now, but you should expect to see me, as usual, on the green at 6 o'clock Thursday evening. Your ever-loving Robert. And, of course, when he proposed, I said... And so I went from being Maria Court, daughter of William and Mary, innkeepers of Witham Friary, to becoming Mrs. Maria Ridout. And he carried me over the threshold of Long Cottage. Oh, he was a lot older than me, but he was young at heart and hale and hearty from being outdoors all the time, indeed. And so it was that I became a carrier too. Every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday I'd hitch up the cart and off we go. Over the hills and down the hills, along the lanes, past the fields, waving to the farmers and the labourers, woo! Seeing the women out there working, doing the washing, that's a hard job, that is, yes. Oh, all year round I go. Nothing stops me getting through. Everybody knows me. There goes Maria, they shout. Good old Maria Ridout. She's as reliable as the sunrise. Here, I think we've got to walk this ways. Yes, you going to sing with me? You know that one, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Only we'll put Salisbury, shall we, in it? Are you going to Salisbury Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to all who live there. She was once a true love of mine. Come on, boy. Come on, then. Here. Here. Are you going to Salisbury Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to all who have... What's the word? Remember me to all... What is it? I run out of breath. What's the words? Oh, I say, that's a good time to stop, isn't it? Here, what you've been picking up? You've been egg hunting? Of course we do egg hunting too, don't we? Yes, indeed, such fun, all the fun in the games. No? Egg hunting? Yeah, we play egg hunting as well. We paint all the eggs. You know, even the royal family, when they come to Osborne House over on the Isle of Wight, yes, Queen Victoria and her lot, yeah, they do egg hunting too. And Prince Albert, he decorated the eggs and wrapped them up in moss and hid them for his children to find. Did you find any? Oh, what you got? Let's have a look. Just the one, was it? Oh, two. Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? I wouldn't eat it though, mind you. Oh, who's he then? He's got a handsome moustache, hasn't he? Hey, here you are. You keep that one then. Lovely. Yeah. Oh, come on then, let's get you up here into the pavilion. Well, it is. Do you want to get inside the pavilion, keep yourself warm? Hey, it can be very hot work, this carrying business, especially in the summertime. So oftentimes, before we set off, we find ourselves in the pub, the Shoulder of Mutton on Bridge Street, and we have a pint of beer. I say we, not only me, but Jack and Jane, they like a pint too. Well, it's quite weak, isn't it? And it's very refreshing, and it's better than some of the water. Oh, indeed. And then we're off on our walk. Sun, or the wind on your face, or the rain, or the snow. Indeed, I don't mind. Nothing stops me getting through. But if you find yourself on the Wishford Road, because I do often make sure I carry apples with me. You catching? Here we go. Hey, ho ho! Hey, woo! Nearly got you, didn't I? Here we are. Woo! Aye, indeed. Where's it going? Woo! Egg and an apple. Well caught. Look at that. Aye. Oh. It can be so refreshing. If you find yourself, I was going on when I Wishford Road, you might get to Great Wishford. And 24th of May is a very important day. Well, it's a prince. No, he's not a prince. He was a king, wasn't he? King Charles II. It's his birthday. And he's the one who, he found himself in great danger against the Civil War, the Roundheads. And he found himself hiding in an oak tree. Well, it is. Oh, or am I boring you senseless? No. You carry on. You take it away, sir. And he found himself hiding, scrambling up inside the hollow of an oak apple tree. Imagine that. Must have been proper funny, mustn't it? Tall man, tall, 6 foot odd, clambering up inside. Do you think that is then why we have so many pubs called Oak Apple? Oak Apple pubs, isn't it? Royal Oaks, that's what I'm looking for. The Royal Oak, we're often looking for a Royal Oak, aren't we? There's so lots of pubs called Royal Oak. I wonder if there's indeed anything to do with our King Charles. Here's the thing, if you get to Great Wishford, they have a great celebration there on the 24th of May, and it starts at dawn. Are you with me? And sure enough, the ladies, they get out all their pots and pans, and at dawn, everyone's woken up, and they go to the woods, and it's an ancient ceremony. It's much more older than I am even. And they make their way to Grovely Wood, and they must collect all the firewood there. And then they make their procession all the way to Salisbury Cathedral with a great banner that calls out, Grovely, 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 and all Grovely. And those twigs, those bits of firewood are placed on the altar, and it's a special kind of a ceremony. And then they all go back and they have a proper good party, don't they? And there's Morris dancing, and there's singing, and there's dancing of all kinds. So you've got to find yourself a partner. Look, grab them by the ankle. Ankle? Well, I don't know what I'm talking. Like words are coming out of my mouth, and I don't know what's happening. Grab them round by the elbow, and we go, and we get a bit of clapping here. No Oh, that was lovely, very lovely indeed. Here, I start to see things changing. From when I was younger, there are not so many people working in the fields anymore. And they brought in machines now to do the threshing. Steam-powered monsters that can do the work in half the time. Gets me thinking, I wonder, how's it going to be in the future? All this noise. Will we be able to hear the birds? Aye. Will anything be done by hand? I don't know. Makes you think, doesn't it? Come on then, let's get going.
I think this is the turning point. It's going back down the lane.
Well, I caught it though.
Here, you come round here. Well, you stop in there, right, you are. Okay. He's inviting you down there. Oh, yes, you lovely. Hey, you lovely. So we finally arrived. No, we haven't finally arrived because we've still got a few more coming in, haven't we? And I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. That's not very good. That's not very much of my nature to take things nice and slowly. Because that's what you've got to do. You've got to go nice and slowly. Aye, indeed. The Coombe Express, they call us. Named after the village Coombe. The Coombe Express. That's a bit of a joke, isn't it, eh? Because we don't go very fast. No, nice and slow and steady. No need to rush. Aye. When we finally arrive at the market, oh, it's bustling and it's so delightful. You forget that you're even tired. And you see all the traders there. I love them. They're like old friends. There's the man who sells the pies. How are you? And are you all well? And your missus and your little ones. They all, oh, I'm glad to hear it. Well, we'll take 12 of your finest pies back to Stratford, Tony. And, oh, I got good money, mind, ma'am, for your apples. Put your hand out. There you are. Knows what? Keeping business between business, isn't it, eh? And now, whose was it who needed the medicine? Whose husband was it struggling with gout? It's over there, isn't it? Oh dear. Now, how's he doing? What did the doctor say? Hold on a minute. Ah, that's it. Less of the oysters. Less of the oysters and the cheese. And tell him no more port. No. Well, that's what the doctor said. Don't kill the messenger. How about baking him a cherry pie? Cherries are good for gout. Yes, they are. That's all right, my dear. I love it when we get to the market. And the children, yes, they love the donkeys, don't you? Do you know that song, Pop Goes the Weasel? Yeah. Pop goes the weasel, half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle, that's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel, all around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chases the people, the monkey thinks 'tis all such fun. Pop goes the weasel. You've ever seen a monkey round a cobbler's bench? No, neither have I. Oh, here, after we pop into the pub for another pint, and we've done all our deliveries and received all our goods, then we head back, so we do. Come on, let's sing up. Half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle, that's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel, all around the cobbler's bench. It tastes the people, the monkey thinks 'tis all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. Ooh. That's it. You gathering round here? We're stopping here a little bit. That's lovely. Ooh. Is it this time of the year you can start to feel a bit of a chill in the air? It's it's long past midsummer, so it is, and the harvest has been gathered in, and well, I notice, and if you's out and about like I am, you might notice too the spiders' webs in the hedgerows or the blackberries on the brambles. I pick one and eat it. Oh, it's ripe and delicious. I've, since the joy of reading, I've discovered a poet named Keats. May I read it to you? Thanking you. Seasons of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless. With fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet cornel, to set budding more and still more. Later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells. Where are the songs of spring? Aye, where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue, then in a wailful choir the small gnats mourn among the river sallows, borne aloft or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. And full-grown lambs loud bleat from hilly bourne. Hedge crickets sing, and now with treble soft the red breast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitter in the skies. Oh, indeed, the change in seasons, sure enough. I pass a graveyard on my lonely route. No one there. And yet, of course, there is. We're surrounded by people. There they are, under the grass, under the moss, sleeping silently. It's at this time of the year that I often think of those we've lost. Robert had a little baby boy. They called him Thomas, but he only lived a few days. Poor little thing. I wonder what sort of children I would have had if I'd have had them. And the children at the market are always so lively, and they love the donkeys. I'd have taught them how to harness the donkeys. I'd have taken the children with me on my way and teach them the old songs, the old ways. Oh, I hear an owl screech. Wrap my cloak around me. It's time to make my way back home. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you like that. If you put it flat with your hand, make your hand like a plate, that's it.
Do you want to give that one a go to the other one?
They said thank you. Come on, but no, that's it. Come on.
That's it, all gone.
You want to come in a bit so that those can come behind you, look. Come forward. Can you hear that far away from me? You sure? Give me a nice sign if you can. I've best talking to donkeys, I is. They listen proper, they're a proper intelligence they are, and they can keep a good secret. Here, are you wanting me to take a message for you, eh? Or deliver a message? Or if you've got a letter to send, no point in, waiting for the mail coach. I'm much more reliable, I tell you. Yeah, and I'm very good at keeping secrets. You know, some who don't read and write, they would whisper to me all that they needed and I'd write it down. Indeed, you don't want everyone knowing your business, do you, eh? In a little black book, it was a very secretive thing. Anyone who needed anything and couldn't read or write. But it's just me and the donkeys now at Long Cottage. Aye, that's how things are. Robert and I, we ran the shop. Busy place, people coming and going all the time. And I looked after my mother. And Robert looked after his. That's how life is, isn't it? Your parents care for you when you were small, and then it's your turn to care for them. And I nursed Robert in his last few years. Time don't stop, do it? Time waits for no man. Isn't that what they say? Time and tide wait for no man. I make myself nice and cosy in Long Cottage, and I collected lots of firewood so I can build a fire in the grate and sit and watch it and remember all the fires I've sat in front, like an old friend. Hello. Watch the crackling, like little sprites going up the chimney breast. And of course, I bring the donkeys in the winter time. They keep the place warm. Well, everyone does. Pigs, cows, donkeys, all got to come in the winter time, haven't they? Eh? Of course, during the summer when the donkeys aren't in use, they're on Donkey Meadow, aren't they? Eh? Named after the donkeys. Before we know it's Christmas time, isn't it, eh? The ivy and the holly. You know you should never cut a holly tree down, don't you? It's bad luck. But you can use the holly and the wood for chess pieces, some do make, and they make a good whip and all. Or not that Jane and Jack need whipping at all. They go at their own steady pace. But you'll find that there's magic in holly. And when you bring it into the house, all the little sprites come and make friends with those who are inside the house. Something like that, any? Oh, the holly and the ivy, when they were last full grown, of all the trees that are in the woods, the holly bears the crown. Oh, the running of the deer and the... Oh no, I done it wrong, have I? Eh? You what? The rising of the sun. It's that sun again, isn't it, eh? Where's that sun? Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. Of course, Christmas time isn't all about celebrations and presents and Christmas pud, is it? It's about ghosts too, isn't it, eh? Yeah. There's that very good story, Charles Dickens, you heard that one? With a mean old Ebenezer Scrooge taking him back through the ghosts. Shall I tell you a local ghost story then? You sure about this? It's a very old story, 1786. A man called, he was a trumpet sergeant from Pimpern, only his name's Blandford. That's how things are, aren't they, eh? Should be called Blandford, but he from Blandford, but he not. There it is. And so it was. He was a poacher. Thing is, on the chase, landlord or tenant, he wrote saying that all boys over the age of 14 have taken up poaching, and it's going to cause some problems in the future. He sorted himself. You know what a poacher is? Poacher gets himself deer or rabbits or hares or anything you can catch off the lord of the land. Off of the lord of the land. That's what it is. Off of the Lord's land, isn't it? You think about that. Whose land we standing on now? Here. So it is that Blandford gets himself a poaching party. And he gets himself up on the chase just by Sixpenny Handley. It's December time, 16th of December. Only what he doesn't realise is that word's gone round and someone squealed. Aye. And so it is that the gamekeepers know and they get themselves in hiding. The poachers have got swingles. What's a swingle, I hear you cry? It's like a blade from threshing, from hand threshing. Like a long wooden stick that bends in 3 ways, and it's sharp. Only what the gamekeeper's got? Cutlasses, swords. They lie in wait. And sure enough, a big fight ensues. The gamekeepers come out with their cutlasses, but the poachers, they reach out with their flails. One of the gamekeepers, cut on the knee, goes down, known as the stoutest man on the chase. Down he is. Well, so they start to attack back. And before long, a large sword, a cutlass, shiny in the air, comes down and chops off Blandford's hand. The poachers surrender, and after his hand is bandaged, they're taken to Dorchester, to the Shire Hall. And what's that? Their trial takes place. And the judge decides that those poachers should be sent off. I'm losing the words. What's that word for being sent off now? Deported. Oh, that's one word, isn't it, eh? Transported. There we go. There's a similarity there, isn't there? Transported. And you think, oh, Australia, but no, they would have been transported to America. However, the decision is made by the judge that perhaps it should be commuted, and they jail them until the judge decides that they've had long enough. So what happens? Blandford is released, and he finds himself going to London, working on a meat market. And who should arrive? None other than the vicar of the chase, the vicar of Sixpenny Handley. And Blandford says to him, I've tried a bit of your pheasant and your rabbits. You got any with you? And cheeky so-and-so, he said, no. But why is this a ghost story? Well, the hand was buried with full military honours in the churchyard. And they say it's bad luck to not bury the body whole. And that hand, they say, finds itself moving around, walking around, looking for a body. Don't bear thinking about it, does it, eh? Hey, I love telling stories, ghostly stories. Do you love telling ghostly stories to your brothers and sisters? Oh, I am so pleased about it. That's what stories about, aren't they? They hold memories inside them. My brother is coming to stay with me. I'm not going to be on my own. How can I ever be on my own with Jack and Jane? And we will carry on telling ghostly stories. Oh, there was something lovely I wanted to tell you there. What about...
Do you remember people with pictures, Maria?
Well, yeah, I know I've got that bit there, but I was wanting to tell you something rather wonderful. It might come to me, it might not. Can I have a moment? Come to me. I wanted to talk to you about... That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to you about that time of year when the swallows gather and they fly off to sunnier skies, and when the light changes and the sky changes. And sure enough, the sun doesn't appear at all. Lazy old sun, eh? Doesn't get up until 8 o'clock in the morning and then only lasts a couple of hours. Aye. Memories. Of course, I'm not rich. I's a poor person. And the only way to keep hold of memories, isn't they, is, how do you keep hold of memories? With a photograph? Aye, there's photographs and pictures, isn't there? Or a portrait. Funny, really. Who'd have thought it? So someone like me would have a portrait taken. But that's what happened. I got a letter. Here. I'll read it to you. Oh. This is a letter that Frank Brooks wrote to the Times. It starts, "My attention has been called to several letters, both interesting and amusing, in your paper with regard to an old friend of mine of the 1870s. I was then beginning my career as an artist and looking about for something to paint. The old lady," she wasn't that old, "and her donkey struck me as an attractive and picturesque subject, so I thought I would try and paint a picture of her. I used to meet her at Harnham Bridge when she was leaving the town, as she always made a stop at the old and picturesque inn called the Swan for a last refresher for herself and the donkeys generally. I think from the same jug." He's right there. It was. I wouldn't share it with anyone else, but with Jack and Jane, indeed. "Here I began my sketches. I often walked with her to Coombe, and the pace was such that at times I was able to walk backwards and draw. Hence the name she was so well known by. The background for the picture I sketched about halfway to Coombe, looking back along the old road with Harnham Folly in the distance. The old lady, of course, went by what was then called the New Road." Old lady, and I wasn't even that old when he painted me. You can see me with Jack and Jane walking steadily along. Turned out to be a lovely day again today. You can see for miles, just coming up the hill. Clouds scudding by. There goes the Coombe Express. There goes Jack and Jane. All year long she goes. Nothing stops her getting through. Everybody knows her. There goes Maria, they shout. Maria Ridout, always out and about. She's as reliable as the sunrise. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think she's all going to join us in the village hall for a nice warm cuppa.